All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
Before we begin, we'll start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh
Ba'Shem
Yahushua
Ba'Shem
Shemakakodash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders, again, millstone, the men who teach and rule well, the men who stars this truth. And peace and blessings be unto your fellow alchemy brothers that also push out this word in truth, faith, and sincerity. And let's go on this lesson. Let's go on the title be Turn the Tide of the Circumstance. All right, which that's a very specific title to go on because that's pretty much the premise of the video, man. Turning the tide, and when you look that up, it's pretty much a old expression, pretty much meaning to reverse a certain chain of events. Which really, in this case, being the servants of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, we're not really looking to, really reverse anything, But concerning that title, all right, to turn the tide of the circumstance. All right, let's do. We get into it. We're pretty much talking about the circumstances us brothers pretty much find ourselves in day in and day out, man. All right, whether it be daily or for a season, all right, or a current situation that brothers are in. And of course, I'm talking about the trials and the tribulations that the scriptures talk about. All right, the fiery furnace. All right, if you got what you got. First one up.
Yeah, Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way?
Yeah, man. And every time brothers make alchemic videos of exhortation, who is that? Almost all the time, who is it focused on? Who's the targeted audience, man? It's the men of the Lord. It's the hopeful men that read the scriptures, all right, that have come to the knowledge of who they are and who the power is, and now they're trying to essentially better themselves. All right, that's the target audience. So that man right there, how can man understand his own way? Really, that's to the man outside of our fold, because men don't understand their own way. All right, they go about living their life, thinking that they're really they have a proper diction or proper control of their own life, and they don't even know it. They make errors, they make mistakes in their life, and they just go with that error.
Yeah, the scriptures say that it seemeth all right unto a man, roughly paraphrasing, where it says
the way that they take.
Yeah, because these people don't have discernment. The scriptures say there be a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the ways thereof are death. You can see that in the modern conversations of these Babylonians, man. These babblers, because you hear Jake, saying some normal things, and then out the blue he'll talk about how he's committing sins unto death, but he don't even know that there's sins unto death. You don't even know what sin is.
Yes, yeah. If you can read that one time.
Proverbs 20:24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way?
Yeah, a man's goings is of the Lord. Now we just touched on the carnal man, a man of this world, a man that's with the vibration of this world. Yeah, we know of their ways, and it can go either or, because the Lord set him up that way.
Yep.
All right, but again, can you read that phrase one more time?
Yeah, man's goings are of the Lord. Proverbs 20:24. How can a man then understand his own way?
Yeah, man. How can a man then understand his own way? And what's so special about this truth is pretty much, although not fully, the men of the Lord actually understand their own way. All right, truly, because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua showed them pretty much the same pattern. All right, because we have the understanding that yes, we understand that the Lord is pretty much guides our paths, or he in other words, he pretty much written our fate every day. All right, we understand also that since the Lord is in control, we understand that everything that we go through is not by it's not a coincidence, meaning it's not out of his control. And not only that, there's also pretty much, if you think about it, not to go too deep into it, there's really no such thing as you making a mistake. All right, but we are under that illusion pretty much of that error making to whatever situation brothers they find themselves in. Brothers can't be being pretty much just be a base or be low just to stay there. In this case, pretty much just what's the word? Kind of changing gears a little bit, but concerning brothers and their really their daily dealings or afflictions in this case,
current situations.
Right? Yeah, the prime example, your current life state. All right, your current situation you're in, mental, financially, spiritually, also
physically.
Yeah, that's a big one. Physically, right? Yeah. All these things, right? It was a way that was taken, but it was a way that was divided by the Lord, or decided by the Lord. All right.
Yeah, I got a scripture.
Mm-hmm.
1 Thessalonians 3:3. It says that no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. Because ultimately, going into the circumstances, right? We're talking about circumstances here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the circumstances we're in, we understand that we're appointed unto it. That's why the scriptures say, thinking not strange concerning what? The fiery trial, which is to try you. The circumstances we find ourselves in, you would think, oh, it's because I made a mistake, now I'm in a burden. Well, really, you got put through that from the Lord for you to gain wisdom, knowledge, understanding, more faith. You see, the things we go through, we don't get. Of course, yes, it is judgment. It is punishments, but at the end of it, it's punishment for our betterment. That's why we find ourselves in these circumstances, and we don't run away from it.
Yeah, it's another thing too. Just gathering scriptures, but before the camera started rolling, I was thinking about it, and it's videos like these. It's such a broad spectrum, because I'm not really mentioning anything specific. That pretty much leaves it to you, brothers, man. Because ultimately, videos like this and scriptures like these, good scriptures and that really uplift brothers, it can go almost in every avenue. That's why that scripture said, "Thinking not strange," because there's nothing that we're talking about, or there's nothing that the scriptures are associated with that can really be out of bounds. All right, the Lord didn't give you a circumstance. The Lord didn't put you in a situation to where there's no scripture on it, or there's no way that you can pray for this because it's just so weird. That's not the case. All right, or if you're out and about, in a place that's low, this is oh man, this is just such a unique. This is pretty much out of the control of the Lord. That's ridiculous, man. All right, that's why scriptures say thinking not strange. You're not the only one going through it. Nor is it something that never happened ever. In the history of
of Israel,
the turbulence. Yeah.
1 Corinthians 10:13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able.
Yeah, two prime examples I can think of. All right, just over the fact that to where it's something that's inescapable is what? Apostle Paul and Job. All right, to start off, Job, he was put in many hella inconveniences, man, back to back. All right, physical, financial, emotional. All right, the people around him, man. Remember, this is a righteous man that believed in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. At the time, Yahweh, he believed in the Lord. All right. But the Lord sent spiritual demon Satan to put him in a tight spot all the time. All right, just so what? So he can be shaken up of that confidence that he has in the Lord. All right, but he had wisdom, he had knowledge and understanding. Right, and he showed it. Even when people his wife, for example, wanted to say all types of demonic comments, man. All right, in his face. That's a pretty bad place to be in. Nobody wants to go through that. What is that? It's irritating, But at that time, he still knew that serving the Lord above all is pretty much what we have to do. All right, the scriptures describe this playing field as a fight. That's a struggle, pretty much. All right, and that's why ultimately you have to just turn the tide, because above all those afflictions, the Lord put him through that. All right, but Job was able to turn the tide by just keeping the faith. That's another thing too. A lot of these situations brothers find themselves in, me included. I'm pretty sure, I speak for myself too. A lot of the trials and tribulations I found myself in, to where it looks like there was no escape. Always the backup solution is just to trust in the Lord, just wait upon Him. That could be turning the tide of the circumstance. Really. Always to turn the tide, meaning to make it in that lowest state, make it better. Because man's goings is of the Lord. You find yourself in that situation because the Lord put you there, and there's a freaking way out, man. Brother brought it out, 1 Corinthians 10:13. There's always a way to turn the tide, always. If you can get that in Philippians.
Yeah, Philippians chapter 4:12. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, that is Apostle Paul right? Speaking, who actually wrote that. So if you think about it, I mean, look at Apostle Paul, right? In one, I think it's either Corinthians or Romans. He goes into detail on a broad spectrum of what he actually went through, and he gave you a whole list. If I'm not mistaken, robbery, shipwreck. He suffered shamefulness, pretty much. He suffered persecution. All right, he suffered the ins and outs of the different cities and being afflicted there by his own people, by his own kinsmen. Mentions it verbatim. All right, other Israelites. All right, Shalakia. So you have that going on, but guess what? He was look at him now. All right, he said that even in those times where he was down low, pretty much in the spirit. Because think about it, what was his profession? Just to preach the word. And look at that, he wrote many of the letters, all right, in the New Testament, man. He pulled through the Apostle Paul, just using his as an example, because stories like this inspire us, because in his predicament, he was able to turn the tide, all right? He was able to change the way, and whenever he found himself in, he was able to turn the, basically when the whole world looked gloom, he was able to find some blue skies and sunlight, through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. If you can get that out in the CSB, unless you had something else.
No, I got it in the CSB.
Come on.
Philippians 4:12 in the CSB.
Same scripture.
I know both how to make do with little, and I know how to make do with a lot. In any and all circumstances, I have learned the secret of being content.
Yeah.
Content.
Yeah. See, and there goes that word again, circumstance, meaning it's really pretty much scenario. We find ourselves in many of these scenarios, pretty much, man. Just the worst possible way, like the most dreamed about worst day, quote unquote. The most stereotypical. Oh, how could this day get any worse? Guess what? The Lord's gonna make it worse, all right, for you. Oh, how could this month? How could this season go worse for me? Guess what? The Lord's gonna make it worse for you. Yeah, and then guess what? It makes sense, because this man is gonna send to us in our lives the tempter, Satan. All right, it has to happen. All right, for the refinement of the elect, and you can read that in the second chapter, man. All right. So these circumstances that we find ourselves in, we still have to find ways, because it's possible to still be content, with little and with much, even with much, right? And we can say a lot of things about it, financially and spiritually. For example, you're giving a lot of understanding of breakdowns. That can come with its own afflictions too.
It comes with its own afflictions. You don't just get nothing. You don't just get something for nothing. The Lord rewards us, but it comes with a price. I remember our brother's video. He was saying that how high level this truth is. Our in this flesh we can't take it. We just deteriorate, not mentally or nothing like that, but our body just physically does, man. The scriptures say, though the outward man perish, the inward man is renewed day by day.
Yeah. And it mentions with too little. That hey, brothers should have a taste of that, right? That can go a lot of ways. Prime example, financially, having too little. That's afflicting as hell. It sucks, man. All right, but we make do. Still, even when it looks like there's no way out. There's no way out. I don't know. No, there's definitely a way. All right, still, and what's the backup? Always. Which really should be the forefront of our minds is to trust into Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Excuse me. Trust in the Lord. All right, that's one of the many Psalms even King David said, man. To wait on the Lord and to wait on Him. All right, wait, I say on the Lord, loosely paraphrasing. All right, so man? And in every circumstance, meaning in every scenario, you turn the tide. All right, and you do that by really, all in all, just trusting in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. He's gonna make do, and that's what He wants to see anyway. That's really what He wants to see. After that, He will do that for you, man. As it is written, fight for the Lord unto death, and He shall fight for thee, man.
Yeah, Surah 4:28.
Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much the scripts I had. Let's see else. Come on. Yeah, so those are one of your brothers was edified as well as exhorting. All right, I know I definitely was just reading the scriptures themselves, just thinking about it. So those along with that, when we close out, we're giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakodash. Again, that belongs to the apostles and elders. Again, most of the men who teach and rule well. And peace and blessings be unto you, fellow alchemy brothers, that also push out the sword and truth, faith and sincerity. And with that, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.